Yes, guys, thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Daily Dose podcast. Today, we have yet another very special guest. This guy is our first African guest on the show. He is one of the best battlers in Africa ever, in my opinion. He's smashed it in the UK multiple times now and has become a fan favourite over here too. BLAIN, what's going on, man?
How are you, brother? Thanks for having me on here, man.
No problem at all, man. I've been excited for this episode. Thank you for coming on. But jumping straight into the questions, man, like for yourself, how was it that you got into battle rap personally?
Ah, that's a great question. I'm from Botswana, right, which is just next door to South Africa.
Sure.
So Botswana it's a big country physically, but there's only 2 million people here. So I don't know if you can imagine like a country bigger than Texas with only 2 million. So
No.
it's a very tight knit community, and basically people are pretty big on their hip hop here. I mean, you have hip hop encyclopedias in a country where most people would expect to find just dust and cows, and there's a lot of that. But hip hop has always been big in Botswana, so um from a young age it was something that resonated like really well with me. So i grew up listening to Mob Deep, Tupac is huge in Africa, and that type of stuff. So one day there was a small sneaker store in the neighborhood that I lived in, and they had Smack DVDs like in the window compartment. And in Africa at that time, and even worse before that time, it was hard to get your hands on any sort of hip hop related stuff. If an album came out in the US or the UK, you might have had to wait 5 to 6 months for that album to arrive here. So I saw the Smack DVD stuff in the sneaker store, and I bought as many as I could right there. There were a couple of them. And that was the first time I saw organized a cappella intense battles, close to what we know them today, right? So me and my friends were just big on the Smack DVDs at the time. And it wasn't really all about the battles for us at the time. It was more about Dipset, G Unit, all of this stuff. So that was the first time I saw it. And it took a couple years for it to actually start to catch on here in Africa, or at least in Botswana, where I was from. It took maybe a year or two after I'd seen that, maybe even more, for people to start doing it here. And I was always that kid in the neighborhood that people came to when they were looking for a rapper. So one day, Salby Urban, who started the Warzone League here in Botswana, came up to me and was like, "Yo, bro, we've got battles going on." And like most MCs at that time, I was like, "Nah, dude, I don't do battles. That fronting stuff. It's degrading, all of that." But he stayed consistent and appealed to my ego, which for a lot of rappers is actually the button to push. And we had our first our first battle, well, my first battle. It wasn't the first Warzone battle. My first battle in 2014, and my first battle against a dude called Quaint, who's passed away recently. He was the dude who pretty much started battle rap here in Africa, the new era of battle rap, I should say.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah, but
that's nasty, man. And is he from Botswana then, or is he from South Africa?
he's from Botswana. South
Okay.
Africa had their own thing going on already at this time, but
Right.
he was the first guy from Botswana to go to South Africa and start doing well.
Okay.
So he brought that here, and my first battle was against him.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. South Africa was already a little ahead of us at that time.
Right. Okay. And yeah, man. And I mean, it must have been a fun journey since then. I mean, to my knowledge, you've not done too many battles in Botswana itself. Is that correct? You've been quite active in South Africa. You've been to the UK a few times now. There's The one thing that's made it quite difficult to follow your battles in particular is a lot of the South African events don't get released online. So I remember seeing a couple of battles through a live stream that Scrambles for Money did. So I believe you battled Fahrenheit on the one that I saw.
Yes.
But the battles never really got released, and then all of a sudden the channel was no longer up and running. So the only battle that I can find of yours that's online today is the Koj battle.
Yeah, and there's a story behind that. There's a reason why that happened, actually. Um, there was the league in South Africa that started and got a lot of traction, or Scrambles for Money, and that was the first time we saw sponsors jumping on, the first time we saw big events, 2-day events, the first time we saw celebrities coming, first time we saw battle rappers getting paid. It was, it was the top of the top as far as battle rap in Africa goes. So this was probably what I would say the golden era, or the best time yet in battle rap in Africa. And that's when things really took off for me and for most battle rappers here. So things were good. I came at the tail end of that league before it ended, but things were good for a long time. And then there were internal disputes, which, me coming from another country and being kind of the new kid in this scene, I didn't know too much about. I didn't know what the real issues were. So after I joined, that league only carried on for another year, maybe 2 years. Yeah, about 2 years after that. Beautiful 2 years. We did so many battles, went to so many events, and the battles were up there. I mean, you had hundreds of battles, I would estimate, up on YouTube, and there were some disagreements on the ground. People felt slighted. It was all very unnecessary. And one day, the owner of Scrambles for Money just took all the videos down from that channel. So what's happened to African battle rap is it was on, we were looking great. We had international acts coming all the time. We're getting acts from here to go and perform out there. We get like top tier world battle rappers wanting to come. I remember Arsenal was supposed to come down, and things got mixed up right at the end. Daylight, we had Bender over. It was a really great scene, and complications caused that league to close. And getting back up has been a challenge, to say the least.
Right. Okay. And are things slowly starting to kind of return over there then?
Oh yeah, things are on the up and up. There's a few leagues popping up here and there. You have two main leagues, Hip Hop 4-1 and Zulu Minati, which are gathering steam. It's a pity with the COVID lockdown. We had so many events planned. Things are picking up again. But I think we took for granted a little bit how far Scrambles for Money had gone and how much work it took to get there. So we're still experiencing some growing pains, man. But people have an appetite for battle rap in Africa. A lot of acts who've come here will tell you Africa's built for battle rap. Everything here lends itself to the experience of battle rap. So we are on the up and up. I'm now running the league in Botswana as well. I've got great relationships with dudes out in the UK. Lex Luthor is one of my closest friends as well in battle rap, and we're all talking about how we can make mutually beneficial situations happen for all of us. So I'm optimistic about that.
Perfect. Oh, that's great news, man. And yeah, I'd love to see an active scene over there again because there's some huge talents. Like obviously, I'm a big fan of yourself. I thought Gin Eye Grimes was phenomenal.
Yeah.
I really liked Pava Guns. Was it?
Oh, Pava's amazing. Pava's also another monster.
Yeah, really good. There's a lot of guys over there that I became a fan of, so I'd love to see a healthy scene over there again. It's good that you're starting one yourself too. But I mean, I've had Briggsy on the show, and Briggsy couldn't speak highly enough of his time in South Africa. Like he said, it was one of the best events that he's been to.
Oh,
The
yeah.
atmosphere was incredible, and obviously Raptor loves it so much. He's been 3 times now, so it
Oh,
speaks
I love
volumes.
that. Yeah. Yeah, man. We had the time of our lives with those guys. When Briggsy came down there for his first visit, he battled me actually.
Yeah,
So me and him got close over that couple 2 3 days. We had a great battle. I mean, that battle is still somewhere online. It's just you got to really find it. We had a really great battle, spent a lot of time together, and we made like lasting impressions. It's one thing you go to an event and you never speak again, but what ended up happening is I talk to Briggsy, we become cool, we battle. Next thing we're talking about me coming out to the UK, which then finally happened, and I don't know if that would have happened if we didn't have such a great time. To be honest, I mean the level of battling was just amazing. I'm really excited for people to see the talent coming out of here. There's young kids out here who are just, if you love battle rap and you really love that shit, where guys making his point so poignantly whilst killing you, like there's young kids who are really about that culture, and I'm excited. But also, I feel like it's my responsibility to present them to, higher platforms and for them to do more than I did.
sure, that makes sense, man. And yeah, it sounds really exciting, though. It sounds very exciting that you guys have got something up and running again too. And there's always been a huge talent over there, so I'm looking forward to seeing more. But there's um there's another battler that I believe is also from Botswana that I've discovered pretty recently. So is it Shocker Boy that's been battling on iBattle?
Yes, yes. Taco Boy, he's definitely one of ours. He's at school out in the US now. So
Right.
linked up with Lex. Lex has been amazing with us here in Africa. He's gotten us in contact with people out in Smack, with he really believes in us, and he wants to help us do better. So Taco Boy has battled, I think, twice on iBattle now.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he's actually battled a guy from Scotland too on iBattle, which was very cool to see. But it was
I remember.
like with Lex Luthor there, between Lex Luthor and Briggsy anyway, they're two of the best people in battle rap to kind of have a good relationship with, because you know that you're gonna get unlimited support from those guys. They do so much for the scene, don't they? So it's definitely a positive.
1000%. Those guys are not only knowledgeable about battle rap, but they truly love it and just understand it in a way that is actually quite astounding to me. Briggsy will just like casually talk about things in battle rap, and I'm like, why didn't I ever look at it like that? Lex as well. I mean, Lex, I watch his lives almost more than I watch Netflix. His Facebook lives are so amazing and so insightful.
Yeah, no, definitely, well, I did see one the other day where he his venting session, I think he called it, which I was pretty much rolling on the floor with laughter for about half an hour. But no, it'd be
Like,
great to see some more events over there. And is there anyone else that you would say to look out for then? Any rising talent over there?
yes, definitely. You mentioned a few. We have a guy called Cerebro here who, when I was coming up in battle rap, that is the guy that I had to battle to be looked at as that dude. And we did battle, and that battle is still debated to this day.
He was he the
He,
champ?
yes, the champ, Cerebro.
Yeah. Okay, I'm aware of
Yeah,
him. He's
man,
very good.
he's still a beast. There's a kid called 51 MPH. He's amazing. There's also what I really like to see coming on Africa as well is, authenticity. So you have some people to me that are just so authentically cool. There's a guy called Kugulieza. You won't be able to pronounce that, but man, you'd be blown away. The He is just so authentically. He's from Durban in South Africa. So authentically Durban, so authentically Zulu. He's definitely somebody I'd like to see, do some work, because these guys are really smart dudes. Of course, you already mentioned Fahrenheit. Crow is one of the best free stuff guys. Botswana, where I'm from, is just an amazing little country because of how much talent. You've got Elder Street Poet, who was doing great things with Scrambles for Money in South Africa way before I showed up. You've got Osama bin Chaplin, who's one of the younger guys that I was mentioning earlier, that there's some young dudes who are really killing out here. It's a long line, obviously I don't want to miss anybody, but there's a lot of good talent out here, which is why I feel so passionately about taking a more administrative role. I mean, I'm always gonna battle. I have to battle to, for all of us to get more exposure, but I definitely want to take a more of an organizing role and develop our own leagues as well, to bring those acts that I just talked about a little further, and just have a consistent stream of content online, because I feel that's the only way we're going to grow.
Definitely. Yeah, man, it sounds like a really positive approach. And yeah, I'm really excited to see that up and running, man. So please do keep me kind of informed with any uploads and events and things like that, and I'll be sure to give it some promotion over here too. But like with yourself, so you have been to the UK twice now. So you obviously the Koj battles online, which is a great battle, but from what I've heard, I wasn't at the first event, but you and Joker Star was apparently a phenomenal performance on your part.
Oh yeah, man. That was probably the best battle I've had to date. Just when I knew I had an opportunity to come to the UK and battle, I took that deathly seriously, bro. Like anybody who knows me will tell you, I was in my house. I wasn't taking it lightly. I was researching. I was writing more than was required. I took it very seriously, man, because you don't know when you're gonna get that opportunity again. And when I got there, the reception was amazing, bro. Still, the biggest reactions I've ever gotten anywhere in the world, man. And the UK crowd is just, UK fans are amazing. They're so knowledgeable, and you can tell that they really enjoy battle culture. Even before that, people saw my name on the flyer, and they would look up whatever battles I had. So when I got there, people were telling me some lines I'd said before. I was blown away by that, man. And just to face such a prominent guy like Joker Star, man, and get to go toe to toe with him, I was thoroughly honored, and that really made me take the battle very seriously. Time of my life, quite honestly.
I can imagine, man. Yeah, it was. I've not, unfortunately, seen any of the battles from the event because I don't think they ever got released. But
Yeah, again, it's just my luck, brother. Like at that time, again, there were issues with Don't Flop, and footage wasn't coming out either. So if you think about my 2 to 3 years of my Africa battles didn't come out. It was, you know, politics, and then my best performance ever in like overseas didn't come out either. So a lot of dudes who are now jumping into the scene are like, yo, who is this guy? We've only seen 1 or 2 battles. They have a lot to say, but I can't blame them. They haven't seen it. I just have to do it again and again and again.
yeah, definitely. And At least you got the opportunity to come back and have the Koj battle. I guess that one's it was
Yes.
a very difficult time for UK battle rap as well, with the whole don't flop fallout and
True.
multiple leagues popping up. But I mean, I was fortunate enough to have been at that event, so I saw the battle, and it was
Yeah.
another very very strong showing, man.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I was disappointed with my showing on that one, and I remember it was in the beginning of January, and I don't know about in the UK, but in Africa from early December till mid January, like the country is pretty much closed. So, prepping during that time was kind of rough, man. But that's no excuse. He had to prep. It's just when you get opportunities like that, you really wanna hit a home run every time. I'm my harshest critic, but I definitely feel like I could have done a little bit better on that one.
I I mean, I can see what you mean, but it was
Yeah, yeah,
still it was still a very strong performance. So
for sure.
I definitely wouldn't beat yourself up too much about it. I thought it was great in the room at the time. So it was one of the most entertaining battles of the event, and the event as a whole was very good. So I was
Appreciate that.
a big fan after seeing that battle, man. But like, for yourself, then, do you have a favourite battle that you've been a part of, and would that be the Joker Star one?
That definitely has to stick out the most, like biggest opportunity and some of my best material, especially in those first 2 rounds. Funny thing about that is I had more than enough material for 3 rounds. The night before I'm in the room with Jin, I have a bright idea to write a whole new third round. And of course I forgot the last half of that third round, but luckily I had done enough at the time. But I would have to say that is definitely one of my favorite battles. And then the battle that really put me on the map over here in Africa was a battle against a guy called Illo here in Botswana. And that was our first viral battle that kind of got our name out to Africa. People weren't really checking for us as much at the time. It went a little bit viral, did some views, and that's got to be my other favorite moment. But there's so many, but those two definitely stick out the most.
Sure. Okay, that makes sense. And do you have a least favourite battle of yours that you've been a part of?
Yeah, the last battle I did in South Africa, that battled another very talented guy called Lin May. Only difference with that battle for me was it was one of those battles where the dude wants to battle you, says, "Hey man, here's some money if you battle me." So I took the money, but I just, I feel like you have to be mentally committed because preparation can get difficult, and if you're not mentally committed, you just keep blowing it off. So I was disappointed with myself there, but I learned to not take a battle unless I'm going to give a good account of myself when I get on that stage, because it only ends up hurting me, you know. So that was
Sure.
my least favorite battle because I don't feel like I took it seriously.
Okay.
And saying that is disrespectful to the guy who I battled because he had a great showing. But now everybody's always gonna be like, oh, this guy came in here with a. So that's definitely my least favorite battle, but probably the battle I learned the most from.
That makes sense. And yeah, it's difficult to go up against someone that you're completely not motivated for, so I can appreciate that. But I mean,
Yeah, sorry.
no problem, man. But out of all of the events that you've been to now, then what kind of stands out for you as the best battle that you've seen live so far?
Oh, um, when I was in London, London Code Red, I saw Real Deal. Who did Real Deal battle on that card?
Raptor.
Yes, Real Deal Raptor was very advanced for me. I remember sitting in there thinking, oh, okay, this was what a guy with 100 battles sounds like. I, you know, that, I was really impressed with just the level of rapping there. Um, Another battle that I've seen live that really stuck with me. Back home here in Botswana, one of our pioneers that I talked about, rest in peace, Quaint, he went against Al the Street Poet, who was the champion at the time. And they just gave us three rounds of just complete carnage, man. I was so inspired after that. That's one of my favorite local or Botswana events ever that we had, man. It was a blast. So I would say those two really show up, man. Meeting Real Deal in London was so much fun. We got to hang out for like 2-3 days, man. Just he was staying like across the hall from me in the hotel. So meeting him was
Okay,
amazing, and he had so much knowledge about battling, so those
definitely.
I would say yeah.
Great guy as well, right? Like just really down to earth guy.
Solid guy, man. Solid guy. Really cool guy. um he's like the king of the dot champion or something, and he checks on me like, yo man, what's up, or comments on a picture here, or I'm like, bro, you really don't have to do that, but he does that, man.
Yeah, yeah, he's a great guy, man. I've got to chat to him quite a few times at events now too, and he's one of my all-time favourites personally. So I definitely
Me too.
agree,
Me too, man. You gotta love Chef.
definitely. But like in terms of getting to the UK for yourself, then, so do you fly from Botswana or is it cheaper to fly from South Africa?
um it would be cheaper to fly from South Africa, but luckily I've gotten the first time I went to the UK, right? They were like, bro, if you can get here, because somebody dropped out last minute, right? And then they were like, yo, if you can get here, man, you can jump on here. And I just went on Facebook, right? And I just told people, yo, I'm trying to go battle in the UK. Can somebody help me? And people just gave me money, bro. Like people just donated. And they donated enough to where I could just take the plane from Botswana and go straight to the UK. And then seeing as I had a good performance over there, the second time round, me and the league could kind of figure things out, in another way. So both times I've gone straight from Botswana, but it just makes more sense to just drive up to Joburg. It's about 4 hours, and then take a flight from there.
Right, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. And how long does it take then? Is it about a 12-hour flight or so?
A little bit more than that, because you're going. Okay, let's take it from Joburg. You're going from Joburg to Doha, right? That's Qatar, and
Right,
that's about 12. And then from Qatar to Heathrow is I think like 6 hours.
okay.
Oh, no, about five. I would say about 5 hours. I think if I'm not. So yeah, you're up there about 17 hours total.
Makes sense. So it's hell of a journey then. It's more difficult than I thought actually, but yeah, I mean there's definitely been some mention of you on like the UK battle forums to get you back over here at some point in the near future. Like UK wise, who interests you? Who would you like to battle personally?
There's so much talent in the UK right now, man. If I was to come back and battle again, I've always admired Frankie Fraser's writing, and I
Mm,
think me and him would just make a good matchup, style wise.
yeah, I
So
like that.
if I came back there, I'd love to battle Frankie Fraser.
It's a very good choice. I like that a lot, and yeah, I think you two would match up very well too. So I'll be pushing for that one myself. I'd love to see it, but
Dude, yeah, yeah. I mean, if I can get him down here, we've talked about that as well. So whichever comes first, man. But we're definitely trying to make it happen.
yeah, that'd be amazing. And I know Frankie's he's very he's very up for just traveling with battle rap and meeting new people and stuff. He's recently gone over to King of the Dot Vancouver,
Yes.
and a lot of iBattle guys want to battle Frankie too. So hopefully we get to see him on iBattle soon as well. But be great to see him come over there as well. He'd put on a show for you guys, that's for sure. But like, one question that I've been asking a lot of people is, if you could pick any opponent in the world for your next 5 battles, which 5 opponents would you personally love to go up against?
Any 5 in the world?
Anyone at all?
Okay. In no particular order. I'm just gonna. One of my favorite battlers right now is Iron Solomon. So just for how much I admire him, I would say him.
Okay.
I'm a when I was in London, no Manchester, I got to see Gemini for the first time. I thought he was phenomenal. So I would say him because I would want to battle in the UK just because of how great both times have been. Um, um, I would love to battle Tay Rock just because just for the Instagram picture. um, I would battle JC because he was supposed to come down to Joburg for a battle, and then he double booked and told us at the last minute, so I'd have to get him for that. And the fifth one, I think I got one more, right? Gotta
Yes.
make it a good one. I would battle Aver, but just so he can say Showtime. That would be my 5.
It's a very good list, man. And yeah, JC, so am I right in saying that he took the deposit to come to South Africa too?
This is what I've been told. You know, I obviously don't know the business. It wasn't my deal, but I heard he took the deposit because we were ready to go. I don't think we would have been printing posters. I don't think people would have been prepping for him if deposits hadn't been paid. You know, everything had been done, money had been spent, and he just kind of double booked us at the last minute. So I don't know what that's about, but you know.
Yeah, it's bad, man. Like, he's unfortunately he's done it to multiple leagues now, Premier Battles included, and it's people like
I
that
remember.
need to be to kind of be just banished from the scene. In my opinion, people need to stop booking him.
Yeah, otherwise everything we say is a bluff. If we don't have a line in the sand that we draw, then everything we say is a bluff. For me, if somebody can disrespect you like that, it should just be over, and everybody else should see that and not say, oh, I don't care as long as it didn't happen to me, because from what I've heard, it's been a habit. My thing is just don't take the battle, bro. You know, we
Yeah,
understand you're busy.
definitely. Yeah, he's ruined his own brand, in my opinion. So I don't think. I know he's recently done it to RBE. So RBE and URL both had an event in the same day in Atlanta. I think it
What's
was
going on with that?
it was in January. So RBE had an event in Atlanta that was booked kind of 3 or 4 months in advance
Right.
for, it was kind of a daytime event. I think it was from like 12 p.m. to about 5 p.m. And then URL decided to book an event in Atlanta a couple of weeks later. So they booked their event from like 6 p.m. onwards, I believe. And JC was booked to battle Oops on RBE. And then he also accepted a battle on URL. I forget who it was against now, but he basically cancelled the RBE battle with about 10 days' notice, even though he knew that he'd already accepted the URL battle as well. And it caused.
That's the storyline with most of these things that are happening.
Yeah. It's crazy.
My thing is with battle rap, as much as you have your mainstream stars, there's still such a huge scene out there that may not be, necessarily smack. So I say, cool, they're a big stage, but that mean if they're not gonna show us that respect, we just have to be about us a little bit. Of course, it's nice to have a big name at your event, but I think what we're learning is we can't depend on those guys, because we're just not priority to them.
No, I definitely agree. And yeah, there's there's still thousands of other battlers that are bookable and that will turn up and put on a show. So, let them spoil their brand, I guess. That's up to them. But I mean, with the scrambles for money events though, you guys did get to see quite a lot of big names over there, right? I know Marv One came over.
Yeah. They
Lex.
thought Marv 1 was Rick Ross at a restaurant and they were trying to move us to VIP till he was like, I'm not Rick Ross. I swear to God, that is 100% true story. We'll tell you that.
That's amazing.
Coincidentally, Rick Ross was in town at the time. So, they were like, of course. Because this big guy who's clearly a Black American walks into a restaurant with 10 other rappers. Because we're all getting ready for the event, so we're all together. So they were like, that is definitely Rick Ross. And we're like, why did you tell him?
That's hilarious. I love that. But yeah, like who else has come over then who came to Scrambles events? I know Lex Luthor came over.
Lex Luthor, Nestle, 100 Bullets, yeah, and a few other names, like I joined the league a little late, so Bender, rest in peace, Bender, man. Like I think he went to South Africa maybe 3 times even.
Right.
He's loved out there, and of course Raptor, Briggsy, Bobby Rex, love Bobby Rex, man. We've had a few names, we've had a few international acts come out here. Arsenal has not come here, but he has been scheduled to come here and not come. And recently, he has been expressing a lot of interest in wanting to come down.
Okay.
But I don't know
that'd
how
be
long
great.
it'll be till that's possible again.
I think Arsenal is he's very reliable as well. I know whenever he's booked in the UK, he's generally been here. I think he's had to
Yeah,
cancel one battle, which was very far in advance. He returned the deposits, and it was for a genuine reason. So
yeah. I heard when he couldn't make Africa, it was pretty genuine as well. So
right,
he'd be cool. It would be cool to see him here.
definitely, yeah, definitely, man. But like for yourself, then is there any other kind of goals for you battle wise? Is there any particular leagues that you want to try and get on at some point, or anywhere else you'd like to go at all? Like any other countries you'd like to battle in, things like that?
Oh, 1000%. My battle goals are actually pretty clear. I want to battle on world domination. We've had some people from Africa, like Dumi battled Thesaurus on World Dom. Jinai battled at World Dom. Um, Elite MC battled at World Dom. So I just want to join those guys and battle at World Dom. Um, and I've been in talks before this stuff happened with Nords, obviously. Me and him have been talking about me getting a PG. So
Okay.
hopefully that can still happen when travel is back on, because Lex is in there now and he's who introduced me to North. So that's another goal, and the third goal would be to push the battlers from my country and my region, my continent, find ways to get them those same opportunities and grow the Warzone league that I'm running now. So those would be my three clear goals as of now. Yeah.
Nice. No, I like that, man. That's a very good list of goals there. And I'm not sure if you're aware of this then. So, in terms of getting a PG, Lex is
Yeah.
probably your guy to speak to now because URL actually fired Norbs a few weeks ago.
Yes, that's what I was saying. Like before this Node stuff happened, I was
Ah,
in talks
okay.
to them about getting a PG, but
Sure.
I don't think that's gonna fall apart because Lex is the guy who had advised me, who had introduced me to Norbs and said, "Hey, oh, no, Norbs, see if you can get this guy a PG." So I think it'll be even easier now that Lex is the dude.
Yeah, definitely. That'd be good to see. And
I just want to put on some more good performances at home, you know, because Lex is basing so much off of the battles he saw me do here, and there really hasn't been that much material going up. And one thing with African battle rap that's very difficult is, we're not as known, but it just takes so much more money to get us to book us, right? So imagine a league owner thinking, I'm gonna have to spend way more money for this guy who is not necessarily gonna pull crowds as hard because he hasn't really been fully introduced here yet. So that's why I'm very adamant about really getting content up so that he at least can point to several things and say this guy is fire. So I don't want to just base it off of good relationships and one or two good performances.
no, that makes sense. I can appreciate that. And yeah, I think it's definitely an achievable goal now, especially with Lex being heavily involved. Like I personally think that Lex might be about to kind of revolutionize URL as well because he's involved in these crucible picks, and some of the people that he's put forward are people that would have never got an opportunity on URL. So
Yes.
people like XQZ, for example, like Ellipsis, they're
Mm-hmm.
two amazing battlers that just wouldn't have fit the URL demographic before. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens moving forward. But yeah,
One
I'd love
thousand
to
percent.
see you over there.
Lex is very big on like character and personality, and like you said earlier, no, he said on another podcast he likes pitting styles together, man. So I think his uncanny ability to do that is definitely going to show over at Smack. He's not always going to go for the obvious pick.
Sure. No, it makes sense, man. And yeah, it'd be great to see you over there and World Dom too. That it just makes sense. I think you'd go down really well on a World Dom card. So I'm not sure what the plan is with World Domination. I don't know if they're still really doing those events now, but
Yeah, yeah. We'll just have to find out, man. We just gotta find a way to get out there, man. Like battle rap is becoming very international. I mean, I'm sure you know about scenes in the Philippines. I was supposed to go out to Nigeria like 2 weeks before this Corona stuff hit. Um, so I just think it's just all around good for battle rap that it's popping up all over the country. And you have a lot of these other countries that you may not think about immediately when you think about battle rap, but when you look at the type of events they have in stadiums, and there's still a lot of beautiful battle rap experiences to be had all around the globe. So I definitely want to be part of the globalization of battle rap.
definitely, yeah, man, I completely agree. And that kind of leads me on to my next question. Really, like I'm aware of battlers from Botswana and battlers from South Africa, but is there any other African nations that kind of have a big battle rap scene to your knowledge?
Yeah, that's another thing I've been working extremely hard on. So from my research, you have Lesotho, which we've made many battles within Botswana. We've also gone to Lesotho. It's a Southern African country. They've got
Yeah, okay.
an alive scene with the crowd that is just hungry for more. Um, and then Nigeria, like I said, I had booked a battle to go battle a guy called Holyfield in Nigeria. He's amazing, man. Like if you could just type in Nigerian battle rap Holyfield, something will pop up with it. You've got some really talented guys out there. And next door to Nigeria, you've got Ghana. Again, just really high level of MCs, battle MCs, and just the culture is alive there. So I haven't organized anything with them yet, but we are talking. We're supposed to do that after Nigeria. Zimbabwe, which is next door to Botswana, is also got a league going, and we've had them over as well. So we're really trying to put together this 5 nations. Those are the 5 main countries in Africa that are really doing it, you know. So I've been trying hard to make all of that connected, you know, because like I said, Quaint made that connection for Botswana to South Africa that allowed us to do that, you know. So we're just trying to make more connections because with each new country that we connect, we see everything growing from the numbers to just the experiences. And, you know, it's not very difficult for us to travel to each other within Africa. So the fact that that hasn't been done already is crazy to me.
Definitely. No, man, and it's a great approach too, because it's helping to build everybody seen as one kind of big platform is just going to be beneficial for everyone too. So I
Exactly.
I definitely need to check out some of these Nigerian and Ghanaian battlers though. That sounds really interesting.
I'll definitely send you some.
Yeah, that'd be great, man. I appreciate it. But the final battle rap related question is the one that people have found the most difficult to answer, but
Yeah.
it might be a little bit easier for yourself as you've recently started to kind of plan events anyway. But if you were putting together a battle card which you had unlimited funds for, and you could book, say, 8 battles on this card, what would you put on the card personally? Like, what matchups would you like to see?
Oh man, unlimited.
Unlimited
Yeah,
funds, yeah.
8 matchups. Okay, in no particular order, because then that's just gonna be difficult. Um, I would have. I would have disaster battling. I would have disaster battling loaded locks. Just to have like a super mega, super super numbers based battle, right?
Sure.
Um, and I can't say battles that have happened already, right? Because then that would be like not such a great event, right?
If there's rematches that you want to see, then yeah, why not?
Okay. Um, I would have Soul from the UK go against Sharon. I don't know. That's never happened, has it?
No, not yet.
Not yet, right? Um, I would have Cerebro from Africa go against Pat Stay from Canada.
Okay, I like that.
That's 3 battles, right?
Yes,
I would have Iron Solomon just because I think he's such a beast. Go against Geechee Gotti because he's newer and I like that old school, new school kind of thing.
nice.
Um, I would have a verb just because I think he's just got a high work rate and he's amazing. Go against would be a good match. You know, Averb has already done like such big names.
Yeah.
I got it. I would have Averb go against Real Deal. I think Real Deal has this sobering flow sometimes where yeah, we're in this crazy environment and everything's rowdy, but he's just sober everything up with what he says.
I like that.
So I would
Yeah.
yeah, so I would have Real Deal going up against St. Louis, what they say, Averb.
Nice.
What do I have? Do I have what, one more, two more to do?
Two more, I believe.
Two more. What did I see that was amazing? I want like a really loud battle. I would have Bobby Rex go against. I would have Bobby Rex go against Pavagans from South Africa.
Okay.
That would
Nice.
that would be a beautiful battle for me. And one more. I know as soon as I get off this call, I'm gonna say, how did I forget all of these great matchups? But one more. Um, well, the last one would be me and Frankie Fraser.
I like it. That's a really good
Yeah,
card, man. I like that a
that would
lot.
be that would be my dream event. I could die after that.
That sounds great. But I've I've been finishing the show with three kind of just general music based questions and three very random questions at the end. But firstly, like you do make music yourself as well, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And have you released any projects recently?
I've released a few singles recently. Yes. One is called Automatic. One is called Welcome to the Jungle, and one is called Promises.
Okay, nice. And yeah, I definitely need to start checking your music too. And one of the main goals for me with this podcast is once I've built the subscribers up, I want to start doing a weekly show where we talk about battlers' music more because I feel like there's
Uh,
so many great battlers making amazing music and it often gets overlooked and people don't check it. So any
there's definitely a vacuum for that. There's a space for that, man.
definitely. And yeah, so any projects that you have going on, please do keep me in the loop, man. I'd love to listen. But like,
We'll link you, brother.
do you get a lot of opportunities for kind of concerts and shows in Botswana then, or would you kind of have to go to South Africa for that?
That's a great question, and it's kind of like a big fish, small pond sort of situation, and there's advantages on both sides, right? So if you're in Botswana, which is not as competitive, say, as Johannesburg in South Africa, you know, you probably have more of a chance of being a bigger artist, therefore getting the big shows and stuff like that, because there is a very healthy entertainment industry in Botswana. Movies have been shot here, big stars come here, and school tours, high school tours happen all the time. So there are opportunities for that, but you reach the glass ceiling pretty quickly, you know. And when you want to grow, you have to go to where it's happening at, which is not that far. If you're in Botswana, it's just 4 hours to Joburg, and we've had a lot of artists here that have done great things from Botswana to Joburg to the world. Even there's a friend of mine who I shot a music video for funny enough. She's gonna be on Colors, you know, that Colors show on YouTube, and touring
Oh
in
wow,
Germany
okay.
and stuff. So there are opportunities, and in the last 5 to 6 years, they've been coming much faster than before.
Right, okay. Nice. And have you personally like done any shows with big artists or anything like that then? Any shows that you're really proud of?
Um, I haven't done shows with many huge artists that you might know over there. You know, I was bigger in Botswana, and I would say the greatest thing that happened for us musically was just we had a nationwide tour where we got sponsored. Um, but we had a sponsor who wanted us to just go around the whole country for a couple of weeks, just performing our music, and we got to make a little bit of money when we came back home. And that experience, I would say, has been the biggest look I've had. And yeah, I haven't gotten to open for any major artists or anything, because when they come, they usually go to South Africa, and South Africa has some pretty big artists there.
Right, okay. And I mean, there's artists in South Africa as well that are kind of making it huge at the moment. I know Toomey is massive right now, so
Yeah,
his music's
yeah,
huge. But is there any other like local artists in Botswana that I should check out?
musically, we definitely have some. There's a guy called Nomadic who's quite respected in Southern Africa mainly, but I mean his music has traveled in Europe. People really, really enjoy his music, man. It's very genuine, very dense, without being preachy or anything like that. So I would say definitely should check out Nomadic. Zeus is a famous rapper from Botswana as well that we we've grown up listening to. And the new kids are actually doing amazing things. There was a group here called Faded Gang that was actually causing some international noise for a while, a couple of years ago. And but like I said, a lot of the time you get an artist who reaches a certain point and then moves on to South Africa, which to me is the logical.
Right, okay, that makes sense. But yeah, I'll be sure to check those guys out, man. But the in terms of the standard music based questions that I've been asking everybody, like the first one again is quite difficult, but for you personally, what stands out as your all-time top three favorite albums?
Oh, okay. 50 Cent Get Rich or Die Trying was like a a big part of my life. Came out in 2003. I was in high school. It was just a perfect time for an album like that to come along, and every song on that album at some point was my favorite. Um, Lupe Fiasco, Food and Liquor. I'm just a huge Lupe Fiasco fan. I like that he's got concepts for almost everything he does, and that it's all connected and almost has like a Lupe universe, like watching maybe a Tarantino film or Marvel or something. So Food and Liquor was a big album for me. And I would probably have to say Stillmatic. I know Illmatic is regarded as probably Nas's best work, but just the time and the age I was when that came out, my whole school needed us. It was CDs back then. Needed a Stillmatic CD back then. That was so hard to get a hold of. I remember one of my friends got beat up for a Stillmatic CD in high school. So yeah, all of that just gives Stillmatic a special place in my heart.
Nice, man. Yeah, it's a very good list. I like that a lot, and they're three albums that I'm a big fan of too. So good answers. But like, what would you say is your best experience at like a live show or concert? Like, who's the best live act that you've seen?
Uh, last last year I think I got to see. He came to Joburg, and his he had some choir work going on there. His live show was just spectacular. And I haven't seen that many live shows, because they don't come to Botswana as much. They go to South Africa, and I'm pretty much just holding out for Kid Cudi to go to my next show. So yeah, I would
Right.
have to say Chance the Rapper had the best live show I've seen.
Nice. Yeah, that's cool, man. I've not seen him personally, so I'm jealous on that front. But the final music related question then is there, apart from the local Botswana artists that you've mentioned, is there any other kind of lesser known musicians of any genre that you're a big fan of that myself or the listeners might not be aware of?
Oh yeah, there's a Mposi Bina from Botswana. She's an amazing soul singer. She's really great. There is there's a kid called Wanda. He's from Botswana as well. He's great. And I know Crow from South Africa, one of the battlers from Scrambles for Money. He's been playing snippets from his album on Instagram, and I've honestly been blown away. It's just I'm excited to hear when that project finally comes out. He's an amazing rapper.
Okay, great.
So yeah,
I'll be sure
sorry.
to check those guys out, man. That'd be good. But the um, the final three questions, and these ones they're very random. But are you a big sports fan, and do you have a favorite sports team?
Yes, I'm a big sports fan. I grew up playing cricket pretty seriously. I played cricket for my country, Botswana, and my favorite team is the Proteas, the South African cricket team.
Okay,
Yep.
nice man. Yeah, cricket is it's the probably the only sport that I don't follow personally. I'm not a fan, but my my stepdad's from New Zealand and he's like a giant cricket fan too. So he I believe actually may have played a game of cricket in Botswana if I remember rightly. He's in the British Army and I think they did
Oh,
like
really?
a tour of South Africa and Botswana and then Australia when I was quite young if I remember correctly. So
Oh man, you gotta look that up for me, man, because we've got pictures from all the way back from people come here to play a bit of cricket. We've got a whole damn name mini museum over here, so I'd love to find out about it.
yeah, I'll give him a call later tonight and ask him about it. But I'm pretty sure that was. I know he went to South Africa and Australia, and I'm pretty sure he may have done Botswana on that tour too. But I'll be sure to find out. But the next one is if you could pick anywhere in the world for your next holiday or your next trip abroad, where would you like to go the most?
Oh, that's a great question. I would want to go to Colorado. I've I've been planning to go to Colorado for the last 3 years, and this pandemic has kind of stopped me from going. So that is definitely where I go.
Okay, nice man. I like that. And where's your favourite place that you've visited so far?
Uh, Definitely Manchester, man. I don't know. There was just something about Manchester that was, I was just comfortable there, man. I felt like it was my first time out of Africa ever, but it felt like I felt like I knew the people there. The lady from the store was just so cool. She kept checking on me and all of that. Definitely my favorite trip. I had fun once I was there, with the battles and everything. So that's my favorite place that I've visited so far. It's just really cool.
Nice. I like that, man. It's good to hear that you were made to feel welcome over here too. So I like that a lot. But the the final question. So you can pick one sweet and one savoury, but what for you are the two go-to snacks?
Okay. Sweet. My go-to snack is jelly sweets. Any jelly sweets except the sour ones. And savory, buffalo wings.
Nice. I like that. They're good answers, man. I've had some pretty terrible answers from a few people, so definitely like
Really?
those a lot. But apart from that, man, that's pretty much all the questions done with. But is there anything that you'd like to kind of plug or promote, or any links you'd like in the description to the video once this is released?
Just everybody to check out the Warzone Battle League in Botswana. There's some real talent over there, and we still have the majority of our videos up. There's plenty of videos for people to watch on there, man. And I promise, there's some really good battles to catch as well. So that would be the biggest thing, man. Just Warzone battles on YouTube will take you there.
Perfect. Yeah, I think I just found it now, so I've just subscribed to the channel, and I'll check some more stuff out that I've not seen so far. But apart from that, Blaine, thank you very much for coming on, man. I really appreciate it, and it's been really fun chopping it up with you. But yeah, I mean, fingers crossed we get to see you over here in the UK again soon. But in the meantime, man, I hope you take care over there and stay safe in these strange times.
Oh yeah, definitely. Thank you, Lewis, man. It's been a fun time talking to you, and I'm definitely coming back to the UK, and I'm definitely bringing some battlers from the UK down to Africa for sure. We're in talks as we speak.
Amazing. I look forward to it, man, and keep me posted with the movement there. But yeah, thanks again, man. It's been really fun. So thanks for your time.
Thank you, Lewis.
Take care, bro. Bye bye.
Sure, brother.